Welcome to the Great Awakening. What many are learning for the first time, others of us have known for decades and felt our entire lives. We have been called paranoid and conspiracy theorists by intelligent people we respected, yet we could not unsee what we know. Now, as the depraved truth of the nature of the world comes to light, we are filled not with a sense of vindication, but with joy and hope for what the potential of this moment means. Finally, after 5,000 years of slavery, humanity has a tiny window through which we can free ourselves from domination by evil. The only way to screw this up is by switching from one hierarchy to another. That's the mistake those kids in Nepal made. They toppled their government, then immediately crowdsourced a new one. It's like those videos where the master drops the dog's leash and the dog picks it up and hands it right back to him. The Nepalese and the dog did not understand the assignment. Be aware that we wouldn't be seeing the truth if the monsters didn't want us to. This is the Hegelian dialectic of problem, reaction, solution. They create the problem, stoke the reaction, then proffer a solution that serves their aims. Like how ignoring intercepted Japanese transmissions allowed Pearl Harbor getting the public sentiment behind the U.S. entering World War II. The fictional Gulf of Tonkin incident doing the same for Vietnam, or 9/11 leading to the adoption of the pre-written Patriot Act, etc. The goal of the monsters this time appears to be total control of humanity through technocratic totalitarianism and a unified world state. 'Cause carbon or something. They want us all in a global digital prison. If they succeed, there will be no escape for another 5,000 years. If we are reactive from fear, they get their way. If we are proactive from love, we have a shot at peace and abundance. It is time to stop playing make-believe in a game designed by monsters. It is time to reject authority as a concept. Because this is not a matter of bad actors in an otherwise noble hierarchy. Any hierarchy will consolidate sociopathic control perverts. And as they bargain away their morality in the throes of lust for power and domination, they begin to see us as livestock. It happens all the time. It happens every time. To my friends on the left, socialism is coercion writ large. The concept is antithetical to natural incentives. It robs the productive to subsidize the indolent. It is the death of the joy of giving and an end to innovation. But do not be afraid, as once the parasites are vanquished, there will be plenty for all. Surplus will flow naturally toward need. To my friends on the right, law and order is nothing but coercion. Capitalism, as practiced in a coercive state, is destructive, extractive, and perverts natural incentives. Competition and adversarial game rules divide us and reward cruelty. But do not be afraid, as a truly free society will maintain order through local custom, manners, and functional family units. The monsters care not which ideology we embody, as long as we consent to coercion. We do not have to replay the drama of commies versus Nazis 100 years later. Coercion is wrong because of consent. Without it, lovemaking is assault, a job is slavery, and charity is theft. Let's apply these moral standards to all of our affairs and stop carving out exemptions because the perpetrators call themselves government. Be aware of utopianism if it requires coercion. All solutions free of coercion are valid. All that require it are evil. The birth of free humanity is simple. Be productive within your ecology, share with your neighbors, and reject coercion in all its forms. But it is not easy, for the front is not in the District of Columbia. It is wherever the petty costume bureaucrats enforcing law and code and tax make the mistake of accosting us. They are the vanguards of monsters, tools hopped up on steroids and statist fervor. We forgive our brothers and sisters who have served the monsters, but those who remain, now finally seeing who and what they serve, are knowingly the active hand of death and molestation and cannibalism. As the rubber-masked robot playing the role of Joe Biden pointed out, not once, but 3 times, if we rise up against the government, they'll just strafe us with F-16s, then nuke us. An old-timey revolution is out of the question, and it only resets the same game board anyway. All we really have to do is withdraw consent and stop making believe in the legitimacy of such a thing as a state. Have faith in each other, live like we are truly free, and crush peddlers of coercion with gothic ferocity. There is no need to bring violence and aggression upon them. But if they bring it to us, let us make it horrifically and graphically obvious that we will not tolerate it. Big problems are born of centralization. Without big power, there are only small problems. Our neighbors aren't performing gain-of-function experiments attempting to weaponize microbes that will make our children bleed from their eye sockets. They aren't building submarines and filling them with enough nuclear warheads to end life on Earth. Only states made of squirmy, blood-drenched sociopaths do things like that. The small problems that arise between neighbors can be solved quite simply in the absence of state authority. However, if we outsource this function to a state, someone's dog is getting shot, at best. The key to opening our prison cell is economic. Either we remove ourselves from the monster economy, or we'll have no choice but to submit to imprisonment inside of 15-minute cities, sucking on hot Cheeto-flavored cricket paste while wet-wired into the AI network as they use the computing power of our minds to fulfill their transhumanist fantasies. If we want to transition humanity out of slavery, we must wean ourselves out of their default economy. Their money is a dark magic tool of control. It is how they keep us on the edge of ruin, forever too insecure to buck against our chains. Cryptocurrency is just an evolution in wealth hoarding, but agorism is mightier even than the pen. Inside our new society, we use primarily gift economy and some barter. Outside of it, we use agorism wherever possible. We constantly find new ways to use fewer and fewer of their Illuminati trading cards masquerading as money. The revolution will not be televised because they won't even know it's happening until one day no one obeys anymore. Let's meet our neighbors, develop strategies and tactics, acquire the tools and skills to defend each other, clarify our morality, build a local culture with societal norms, customs, and manners. All of the laws that are worthy are better upheld through this than through the coercion and a state monopoly on violence. Let's secure our comms, independent of the net, make mutual aid agreements, and reach consensus on rules of engagement for all imaginable scenarios. Let's gather, feast, and care for each other. Put all of the phones in a Faraday bag and speak the whole truth around the fire. We must recognize that the convenience of a system that only sees financial value does so at the expense of natural value, social value, intellectual value, spiritual value, and so on. Let us plan our actions in ways that serve the things that are more beautiful than heaps of coin and treasure. We can build self-perpetuating systems of abundance and show our children how to expand them. We can collectivize within our watersheds without centralizing authority beyond them. If we organize within Dunbar's limit of 200 people, sharing becomes natural and gift economy is spontaneous. Think of the anarchistic activity known as a potluck. There is no coercive authority governing the behavior of the guests and no hierarchy among them. Still, no one piles all the peel and eat shrimp on their plate. It would be rude, and their last invite to such functions. Manners, convention, and natural law govern almost all of our actions and interactions as it is. Allowing a state the only legitimate application of violence doesn't prevent murder, robbery, or sexual assault. It only makes it possible for the most power drunk to engage in such behavior with immunity and impunity. We must not be afraid, for the blessings of liberty are finally at hand. Be not ashamed of our past complicity in evil. We are children of a multi-generational mind control society. Have courage and yield not to the voices offering easy solutions requiring aggression and coercion. We will build a new world free of domination, and it begins now with each of us. This channel is full of practical solutions for shelter, food production, and system design, so have a look around. There are thousands of us out here, and we've been building a new society for decades. We already have all of the tools and ways to care for ourselves and our communities figured out and proven. If you are in the majority of people just waking up to the horrors of what we have allowed, take heart, breathe, and know that it doesn't have to be like this. Do not let fear steer your mind into submitting to the next control scheme. Let's build a new society with a real and beautiful culture in harmony with where we live. Choose love and get to work. In the next episode of this series, we will repair all the cracks in our Dustcrete and get some plaster up. I'll show you guys how we went about solving these issues. As always, like, share, subscribe, and tell me in the comments what you thought about this message today.